mentioned your two corners, but your position group specifically, how much are you going to lean on Daryl with that nose tackle position?
Yeah, it's huge.
A 4-year starter this fall.
Right, that's huge. Daryl, will be a 4-year starter, and he's the leader of that group. I just finished a meeting with them and, explained to Daryl how important he's going to be for that D-line unit and then for the defense. In the 3-4 scheme, that nose has to be the anchor in there, and he's done that, but he just needs to continue every day, doing that more and more. Kevin Pierre, who really came on last year, he's sitting out this spring as a 3 technique, but he's a guy that, last 4 games of the season, I think played as well as anyone on the D-line. So I'm excited about, having him back. And then Brandon Hazard got a year back. So he's going to be, a 3-year starter at defensive end. And then there's some, younger guys with Justin Noble and Noah Hancock and Colton Neal and Yusuf Poindexter that, there's going to be plenty of reps for those guys to go and steal some positions. So it's wide open competition. I'd probably say the guy that's set in stone is Daryl at nose, but we're going to need a viable backup because that's a position that takes a lot of beating and, gets double teamed a lot and high load. So his backup's going to need to be ready. But, I think that's pretty much the only position that's set in stone on the D-line. Right now it's wide open, and hopefully we get that thing mixed up throughout the spring.
In terms of leadership, how much are you going to lean on a guy like Brandon Hazard, a guy like Daryl, or even a guy like Keontae Gainey, who saw some important reps last year?
Yeah, those guys they'll be important. With my role extending and in my eyes maybe being in some different spots in the secondary and in the linebacker, my expectations for those guys are high. I'm going to, lean on those guys to make sure they're aligned in assignment. So, maybe I could, peek into the secondary or peek into the linebacker core and watch them throughout periods of practice. And, the guys that I have and the guys I've coached for the last 4 years, they know my expectations. So, but I'm going to lean on them a lot, not just for my position group, but for, the whole defense. And I think those guys are going to be ready for the challenge.